what, you know, what amazing and wonderful blessings it is that we have in that. And when we look at this and we recognize, you know, what He's done for us, you know, this helps us, you know, thinking in terms of what does this practically mean for us? What does this mean for how we live day to day? Probably your parents said to you at some point, you know, here's who we are in this family. This is what we do in this family. This is what our name stands for. Or, you know, you've got a good reputation. Live up to that. You probably heard something like that. You know, my mother would say to me, remember who you are and where you came from, or what your name stands for. And what does that mean? Well, hopefully you've got a family that's got a good reputation, that the others can say, oh, you know, they must be okay because that's who they are, because that name means something. Now, I understand there are people that have a name to live down. I understand that too. You know, you probably had some people that, okay, oh, that's your last name. All right. Are you related to the people with that same name over? Uh-huh. Well, you know, that sometimes is the case as well. But we, as God's people, carry His name, His Son's name, as Christian. We have a name to live up to, don't we? That, because we have that name to live up to, should change what we say, what we do, how we act, where we go, with whom we associate.